Alright guys, Hood Tour Season 3 Episode 28. I just had to double check on what episode I was on. I had a rough idea on what, because I remember doing 27, but way too fast. Looks like a child molester. They're gonna quickly fucking find out how fast losing a bike is gonna happen. But granted, yeah, that may only be an entry-level bike. You know, people that know bikes will know that's an entry-level bike and not really fuck with it, but also at the same time, for a few $100 they could have a decent bottom bracket get thrown into the bike, you know, a sealed bottom bracket. How you hit people fucking hogging the road like that, that's not safe. I understand you're trying to get around cars, I get that, but when you have a big gap like that where you can move back over closer to the curb on that side, you know, it'll be the right side, do it, you know, because like I said, it's unsafe. You know, so if I sound like I'm being cocky or rude or mean, it's just I'm looking out for people. I'm going to see it how I'm going to see it. You know, so if you're driving like an idiot or, you know, even like looking like a child molester comment, you know, dude looked like a child molester. So I don't see anything to offend anybody, and if I do and I get called out on it, next video I'll apologize for it, which, well, even like right now, if I offended somebody, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm just stating facts. You know, the one dude in the Subaru looked like he's a child molester, you know, which is up there with a murder, but it's worse, and I look at it as worse than a murder. You know, somebody that killed somebody, a murderer, not murderous, sounds stupid. I mean murderer, or like a serial killer, murderer. I look at as very bad people too, you know, because murder is a pretty bad crime. But, you know, like a child molester or sex offender, that's, you know, I look at as worse than a murder charge. You know, granted, yeah, I still steer away from the murder, you know, people that got charged with murder, but you know, still it's a pretty bad charge. You know, if you're a sex offender, you have to most likely go on the 100% most likely have to go on the registry the rest of your life. And you know, the sex registry, you know, saying that you're a sex offender. make sure none of those bikes are mine. You know, so, I mean, theft, yeah, that's even a serious crime too, but I think if you get caught with a certain amount, I think it might be a misdemeanor. Unless theft in general is, felony, but I don't know. You know, when you get caught doing something like theft, which murder, that's a felony. You know, child predator, sex offenders that's a felony too. You know, getting caught for sexually assaulting somebody. That's a felony right there. Murder is a felony. DUI, that's a felony. OWI, I'd think the same thing. I think it's a felony because that gets stuck on your record the rest of your life. Which misdemeanors do too, but misdemeanors, a lot of places, or even though like felonies, a lot of places will do like jobs, and I think some housing, like, you know, like apartment buildings. I think some places, jobs and like apartments will do record checks or like background checks. Jobs, I know for sure will. So misdemeanors, I don't know how they'd affect your job, but if it's a felony, some jobs, you know, jobs that do the background checks won't take you. So I finally got a kickstand for this thing. I gotta put it on, which I may do tomorrow because I'm out riding right now. Spot. That doesn't show they don't know how to do fucking lawn care. Completely just fucking miss a shit ton of grass. Can't see if there's any like decent books in here now because somebody fixed the door, which I kind of like this style door better anyway, so because it's only gonna be, you know, it's gonna be stronger. And with somebody here. You know, so. You know, like I said, it's just fucking proven that, you know, for everybody that fucking cuts the grass that works for the city, I don't think they know how to cut grass. At least good. Because it looks like shit when they're fucking done.